that concludes. Finally, it took 5 weeks, but we did it, and I'm happy about it. I'm excited. I think it was great. That concludes our Python versus Java series, where we did a side by side live implementation of the page object model and page factory. So we started from the very base script test that you could write, where everything is inside of the test, where our locators are in there, our we're clicking on, all that stuff, right, is in there. And we finished with all right. So here we are. Let's compare two. This one had the most possibly. All right. So let's compare the two, right? We have our page object model with the page factory in Java, and we have the same thing in Python, right? They're very like the code is very similar. So like this dot driver, sub dot driver, send to driver. And so one thing is inside of Selenium and Java, the page factory is included in Selenium. In Python, at least with the Selenium page factory package that we use, it is not included. It's an additional package that we install, but it does extend some of the actions that we would typically have to do in Java. But I mean, I'm pretty sure there's some frameworks that do that for you in Java, but you also have to deal with some of the headaches that come with using somebody else's framework as well. But either way, so here we have our find by accept cookies. We have our dictionary for accept cookies, delivery address input field, find food. Same thing that we have here. Accept cookies, delivery address input field, find food, right? Pretty much the same thing. However, in Java, we did set the getters to keep these web elements secure, so someone else can't come in override them by making them public. So now we have our getters for each of those, right? And then we have our methods where we say click accept cookies, click accept cookies button, enter delivery address, click find food button, click find food button. Like it's pretty much identical, right? And then we have search for restaurant based on user enter delivery address. We could have did the same thing for Java, but it is what it is. One of the differences between Python and Java, the time.sleep, that one is measured in seconds, and thread.sleep is measured in milliseconds. No big deal. But essentially doing the same exact actions. Like these two are identical, right? So really, it's up in the air. Depending on what you're using it for, is what determines which one is better. And like I said, I don't want to use the word better because I don't think that one of them is necessarily better than the other. It depends on the use that you're using, right? And it depends on the organization that you're working for. If you're working on a code base, which is Java, then I would probably recommend you going with Java. But even though at the last base that I was working at, um, the code base that the software developers were working on, the software engineers, they were working in .NET, I believe. But the QA engineers, they were using Java. And I think that's more because of what they were comfortable with. It's typically the first thing that people learn Selenium in is in Java. So if that's what newer QA engineers were familiar with, then it makes sense that you could have the QA doing Java and the developers using .NET because the two they don't necessarily mingle with one another. Like it can be two separate things. So with that being said, everything is inside of the test where our locators are in there, our what we're clicking on, all that stuff, right, is in there. And we finished with a very clean test where there's not where it's very readable straight from the actual test. And I wonder if let me see if I can pull this up and let me pull this last thing up because I just want you to see this, right? So let's clean this up a bit. Oh, we didn't do the whole thing in Java, but I mean, you like by me doing the homepage, you see how it goes, right? We don't need to do that whole thing in Java. You got a good idea of it because like, based on what I did in Python and based on the Java implementation of the home page factory, it would be easy to do the rest, right? But much cleaner code compared these two. This is the end result. This is what like we did the homepage for this one, and if you were to keep going with the Java one, it would end up looking almost identical to this one, which would be our goal, you know. Um, yeah, that's what it is. All right, cool. So back over here, and yeah, so it's which one is better?
If you enjoyed the fascinating information shared in this video and you want more, be sure to hit the subscribe button to Tech Coach Ralph to be notified for new videos.